Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please join us today in study of Srimadbhagavatam. Today we'll be covering Srimadbhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 68, the Marriage of Sāmba. Hare Krishna, please join us for Jai Radha Madhav prayers. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Krishna. So again, please join us in the study of Srimadbhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 68, the Marriage of Sāmba. Let's do Mangalacharan together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirye. Shravantam Sakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhasatam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. Hare Krishna. So, please join us in the recitation of the verse, Srimadbhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 68, the Marriage of Sāmba, verse 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shukuvacha
Duryodhana Sutam Rajan
Duryodhana Sutam Rajan
Lakshmanam Samitim Jayaha
Lakshmanam Simitim Jaya
Swayamvara Sthamaharat
Swayamvara Stham Arhat
Sāmbo Jambavati Sutaha.
Sāmbo Jambavati Sutta.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Shri Shukuvacha
Shukdev Goswami said,
Shukdev Goswami said,
Duryodhana Sutam,
Duryodhana Sutam,
the daughter of Duryodhan,
the daughter of Duryodhan,
Rajan,
Rajan,
O King Parikshit,
O King Parikshit,
Lakshmanam,
Lakshmanam,
named Lakshmana,
named Lakshmana,
Samitim Jayaha,
Samitim Jaya,
victorious in battle,
victorious in battle,
Swayamvara,
Swayamvara,
in her Swayamvar ceremony,
in her Swayamvar ceremony,
Stham,
Stham,
situated,
situated,
Aharat,
Aharat,
stole,
stole,
Sambaha,
Samba,
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 Jambavati Sutaha,
Jambavati Sutta,
the son of Jambavati.
the son of Jambati.
Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Shukdev Goswami said, O King, Jambavati's son Sāmba, ever victorious in battle, kidnapped Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana from her Swayamvar ceremony. Purport. In Krishna, Srila Prabhupada explains this event as follows. Duryodhan, the son of Dhritarashtra, had a marriageable daughter by the name of Lakshmana. She was a very highly qualified girl of the Kuru dynasty, and many princes wanted to marry her. In such cases, the Swayamvar ceremony is held so that the girl may select her husband according to her own choice. In Lakshmana's Swayamvar assembly, when the girl was to select her husband, Sāmba appeared. He was the son of Krishna by Jambavati, one of the chief wives of Lord Krishna. This son Sāmba is so named because, being a very bad child, he always lived close to his mother. The name Sāmba indicates that this son was very much his mother's pet. Amba means mother and Sa means with. So this special name was given to him because he always remained with his mother. He was also known as Jambavati Sutta for the same reason. As previously explained, all the sons of Krishna were as qualified as their great father, Lord Krishna. Sāmba wanted the daughter of Duryodhan, Lakshmana, although she was not inclined to have him. Therefore, Sāmba kidnapped Lakshmana by force from the Swayamvar ceremony. Hare Krishna. Please join us in doing prayers to the Guru and Gauranga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkripa tadaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today, even though it appears that we will be discussing about Sāmba, but it's mainly about singing the glories of Guru, the spiritual master, and especially Adi Guru. And who is Adi Guru? Lord Balarāma himself. So Lord Balarāma, we had covered in the previous chapter, killed the gorilla by the name Dvivida. He was minister of Sugriv, but in demonic association, he had turned into a demon. And so he was spoiling the nice dancing and singing of Lord Balarāma with the young maidens who were as beautiful, more beautiful than any maiden in the three worlds is described. And so he and Lord Balarāma also came to know that Dvivida had been causing so much havoc all over the place, and just because he wants to avenge his friend Bhaumasura, who was earlier killed by Lord Krishna. And so Lord Balarāma, his pastime was interrupted by Dvivida, and he, in a way, challenged Lord Balarāma to fight. And Lord Balarāma killed this gorilla by the name Dvivida, thus showing us that when one is arrogant and filled with pride, they cannot properly approach Lord Krishna. And then the second lesson we hear is you cannot approach Lord Krishna without the mercy of Lord Balarāma. This is also a lesson given in Ramayana we have discussed earlier, that when Hanuman brought Lord Ramchandra to Sugriv, and they became friends, at that time Sugriv honored Lord Ramchandra with a garland, but he did not honor Lakshmana. And so at that time it was very important that Lord Ram, actually bestows his mercy through Lakshmana to Sugriv. And when Sugriv goes to challenge Vali, and they two fight, and he was almost about to lose his life, he ran away from the fight. So he abandoned the fight with his elder brother Vali, and he came to Lord Balarāma that I was almost killed. What were you doing? And that time Lord Balarāma said, you two brothers look so alike that it was very difficult for me to know who is Vali and who is Sugriv. So I didn't want to shoot the wrong person. So he's asking, what's the solution? And at that time, Lord Ram says, if Lakshman gives you a garland, that would be, a sign for me to know who you are so that I can shoot Vali. So at that time, Lord Lakshman, he garlands Sugriv. So the mercy of Lord Ram flows through Lakshman, and Sugriv gets the benediction to become the king of, what's the name? Chikinda? No, not. So, the kingdom of Vali. So anyway, and Vali is killed, and his son Angad is instructed by Vali to follow his uncle Sugriv's instruction. So Angad is son of Vali. So again, in this case, in Ramayana we heard how Lord's mercy flows through his devotee, and especially Adi Guru. So similarly in our life, anything that we achieve, all glories are to our spiritual master. Because of their benediction, because of their mercy to us, we achieve everything. And here in this chapter, everything that is happening and all the wonderful acts that are being performed by Lord Balarāma. So directly or indirectly. So Lord Balarāma expands in the Chaturvyuha form. And what are those forms? Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And so these are the four personalities who are residing in Dwarka, in this particular pastime as we are discussing. And Lord Krishna has 16,108 wives. So Lord Vasudeva has 16,108 wives. From each wife he has 10 sons and 1 daughter. And from Jambavati, the eldest one he has is Sāmba. And this Sāmba is very notorious child. Just like Krishna, we hear how notorious he was. So Leela Madhurya is one of the potency Lord Krishna has. So today we'll be discussing the glories of Lord Balarāma, because he is the source of all incarnations and the eternal companion of Lord Krishna. So Sāmba enters the Swayamvar ceremony. So in the assembly hall where the Swayamvar ceremony is being performed, Sāmba enters and he kidnaps Lakshmana, the daughter of Duryodhana. And Kurus always considered the Yadus, to be lower than them, right? Because, why is that? Because Yayati had actually given the boon by making his son Puru, who was the son of Shamishta, to become the king, because Puru had given him his youth when Yayati wanted to enjoy materially. And then Yayati, he renounces. So he satisfies his wife Devyani and says that, to Puru, that give me back my old age and you become the king. And Yadu, who was the eldest son of Devyani, an eldest son of Yayati, he was not made the king. Rather, he was actually cursed that none of his descendants would become a king. And that is exactly what Lord Krishna had referred after killing Krnsa, that we, Yadus, cannot become the king. So you, Maharaj Ugrasen, please become the king, because you can very well take care of all the Yadvas, Vrishnis, Shatakas and others. So again, different dynasties from different kings under Yadu. All these various dynasties, you can take nice care of them. So here, Sāmba, he abducts Lakshmana, the daughter of Duryodhana. And it is said that she was bestowed with all great qualities, a very cultured girl, very nice girl. And she was not inclined to select him in Swayamvar. So if it was fair, if she had the opportunity to select, she would not have selected Sāmba. Now, Kurus being, the kings, the kingly personalities, and Kshatriyas, it was a great insult to them. And who are these Kurus? This is Duryodhana himself, who was, in a way, even though Dhritarashtra, his father was the king, he was the one running the whole kingdom, because his father was blind. And under the guidance of Shakuni and Krnsa, who were polluting him a lot. And he was, again, Duryodhana. The very meaning is one who is expert in creating quarrel and acquiring, very strategically acquiring others' wealth. So he is affected. Bhishma Dev, the grandsire Bhishma, he is affected. Vidur is also impacted by this incident, that in our family, how could somebody just take away our daughter from the Swayamvar ceremony? So all the elders, they discuss that we have to teach this boy a lesson. And at that time, 5 warriors were identified under the leadership of Karna. So who are these 5 warriors? So these members, the senior members of the Kuru dynasty, this is like Bhishma Dev himself has suggested. And Karna, Shala, Bhuri, Yajnaketu and Suyodhana. Suyodhana is another name for Duryodhana. So these 5 warriors under the leadership, or under the advice of Bhishma Dev, who is also joining them, and leadership of Karna. So this is one place where Bhishma Pitamaha, he joined in a fight along with Karna. Of course, later on also we'll see that when Kauravas, they had attacked the kingdom of, Virat Raj, right? At that time, they had come, and Arjun, who was acting as the teacher, the dance teacher of Uttara. So he was appearing as an eunuch, and he had actually fought with them. That was another time when Karna and Bhishma Dev was there. So when Kurukshetra time came, Bhishma Dev said, I don't want to have Karna on the battlefield when I am fighting. So Karna could not enter the battlefield to fight, till the duration Bhishma Dev was fighting. So here, all these warriors, they chased in their individual chariots. So Srila Prabhupada reveals that there is Maharathi, Ekrathi, and then there are other kind of warriors. So Maharathi can fight with many thousands of soldiers at the same time, and many Rathis, like Dashrath could fight with 10 chariot riders, right, warriors, at the same time. And 10 directions, basically, that's what Dashrath also means. That he could fight with on his chariot in all 10 directions, the 8 directions horizontally, and top and bottom is up and down. So here, as these 6 Maharathis, they chase him, they say, stop and stand and fight. So when a Kshatriya is challenged like this, the Kshatriya must stop and fight. That's the Kshatriya code of honor. So Sāmba stops and, picks up his bow, and he is as potent. So he has all the potencies of Lord Shri Krishna, being Lord Krishna's son. And he expertly fights with all these warriors. So he uses one arrow to injure each of the warriors, with one each arrow per warrior. And then he kills their horses with 4 horses on each chariot by 4 arrows. He kills the chariot driver with 1 arrow. So each of the warriors, they have without the chariot. He even dismantles their chariot. So all these warriors, they are glorifying, they are appreciating this amazing prowess. And they know that, yes, they are appreciating among themselves, because that's also Kshatriya bhav, right? Viriras. So they are Viraras, they are experiencing that chivalry. And so they are appreciating him. And yet at the same time, all 6 of them, they, kill. 4 of them kill the horses. 1 kills the chariot driver. Another one forces Sāmba to get out of down of chariot by destroying his wheel. The yoke is destroyed, and so with great difficulty, another one breaks the bow that Sāmba is holding into pieces. So he's without any weapons. So with great difficulty they tie him up, and they bring him back, saying that, yes, see, we have captured this son. Now somebody could say, why did they not kill Sāmba if they were so upset? Because it was when they were discussing what to do, they decided we should not kill him, because Lakshmana has been abducted by him, and a girl who has been touched by another boy, taken especially in this case from the assembly hall, by another boy, abducted. No other boy would marry her. So of course, she is, only Sāmba is the personality that would be marrying her. So that way, but we want to teach him a lesson. This boy is so impudent. He is so, arrogant, and he has disgraced us by kidnapping our daughter. So he must be taught a lesson. And then there was this question that what if the Yadus, they attack the Kauravas, so the Kurus. Then at that time, what would be the case? Then with arrogance, thinking that we are the actual rulers, we can show them easily who is the boss here, So that is in arrogance they are saying, not realizing that if Yadus attacked, who's on their side? Lord Balarāma and Lord Krishna. And as soon as this news goes back to Dwarka by Sage Narad takes this news that Sāmba had been captured. And this is against the code of honor by the Kshatriyas, because 6 of them fought at the same time. So 6 Maharathis fought with 1 Maharathi. So at that time, this was not right. This was in an unjust manner. Sāmba was defeated. So Lord Krishna is upset, King Ugrasen is outraged, and all the Yadavas, they prepare for a war. Lord Balarāma, realizing that with the coming of Kali age, the qualities deteriorate, and people are, easily provoked for fight. And realizing that this could be the effect, he did not want this fight between the two great dynasties like the Kurus and the Yadus. So he pacifies everyone back in Dwarka, saying that, let me go and try a peaceful way. And Lord Krishna is always agreeing with the peaceful way, so he agrees with Lord Balarāma to go, and King Ugrasen is also, consoled. So Balarāma, along with some of the elder Yadavas and Uddhav, who is a great advisor, he is a disciple of Brihaspati, cousin of Lord Krishna and Balarāma, taking him along with some elderly senior members of Yadu's dynasty. Lord Balarāma goes to the outside precinct of Hastinapur, and there he sets up his camp in a nice garden. Then he sends Uddhav to Hastinapur just to get the understanding what is the mindset of Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana. And when Uddhav comes in, he comes to Hastinapur in the assembly hall, he shares this news that Lord Balarāma is here. Knowing that Lord Balarāma is here, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, they are full of jubilation, they are very happy, they are very glad. They are delighted because they know that Lord Balarāma is benevolently disposed towards them. So he is their well-wisher, and he always regards them, their benefit. So here, in this ecstatic mood, they gather nice offerings for Lord Balarāma. So all the, major prominent, residents of Hastinapur, along with Bhishma Dev, Vidur, and so forth, Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, Karna, Shakuni, all of them, they are coming, and they nicely come outside at the camp of Lord Balarāma, and they worship him, and they give him various kind of gifts. So this is a very nice embrace, and sometimes when people see Lord Balarāma such a nice way interacting, because Lord Balarāma is so merciful, and he is so merciful that actually he was teacher of Duryodhana. So he had already taught Duryodhana how to fight with Gada, one of the weapons that he holds. Lord Balarāma has two weapons, Gada and plow, hull, and the club. So here, Lord Balarāma is smilingly, he embraced all the Kurus, and then they are asking about the welfare, how is everyone, how's King Ugrasen, how's Lord Krishna, and so forth. And similarly, Lord Balarāma responds and asks about their welfare. So after having a common exchange, asking welfare of each other, Lord Balarāma comes straight to the point, and he says that, we have heard, King, I have a message for you from King Ugrasen. So please hear it carefully and follow it immediately without delay. So he's being very, very straight to the point. And he says that we have heard, so this is King Ugrasen's message Lord Balarāma is sharing, that you have captured Sāmba, improperly, without the code of Kshatriya. And this is this has outraged all the Yadavas, all the dynasties of Yadus, all the descendants of Yadus. And so you should immediately free him. And at that time, when the Kauravas, when the Kurus, the descendant of Puru, when they hear about this, then they are actually in their arrogance and pride that they are higher than the Yadavas. So again, sometimes there is, this gradation within each Varna. So this gradation of Kurus is higher than the Yadavas, because Yadus had been cursed by Yayati not to become the king. They say, oh, now today the shoe is trying to, get onto the head because of that. So in arrogance they are saying, and they are saying so many abominable things just in arrogance, not realizing who they are saying it to. Because the Varnas are in the three modes of material nature. Lord Balarāma and Lord Krishna, they are transcendental to the modes of material nature. So here one of the lesson we hear is Prakate kriyamanani gune karmani sarvesha ahankara vimuddhatma kartaham iti manyate. So under the influence of the three modes of material nature, Prakate kriyamani gune karmani sarvesha, one engages and one acts because of the influence of the three modes of material nature, ahankara vimuddhatma, being bewildered, deluded by those modes, one thinks and associates with the body and thinks that I am the doer. So this is how they are thinking. And at that time, Lord Balarāma, is quietly listening to these Kauravas who are speaking in this arrogant manner and now they are saying in their arrogance that actually we have entered into this intimate relationship by marriages among our family. So actually Kunti was sister of Vasudeva, father of Lord Vasudeva. So she was married to Pandu, the younger brother of Dhritarashtra. So this is a very close relationship, intimately related, these two dynasties. And so they are thinking that we allowed them to sit with us, dine with us, and we turned our head away when they were using the thrones and becoming the kings and using all this royal insignia. And so now the shoe is trying to ride on the head. And this is how they are saying in arrogance, ahankara vimuddhatma, mudhas, like mudhas as foolish people. They are carrying out, rebuking the yadus, not realizing the position of Lord Krishna and Lord Balarāma. And at that time, they leave Lord Balarāma, they go back to their city. They have not taken Lord Balarāma with them. Previously, when Lord Balarāma has sent Uddhav, they actually had regarded Uddhav very nicely, literally worshipping him, and they worship Lord Balarāma. But hearing King Ugrasen's message from Lord Balarāma, they forgot everything. So this is what happens because of arrogance and pride. One cannot properly approach even Adi Guru, what to talk of a spiritual master. So how is it possible to approach Krishna? That's the lesson. And after they leave, Lord Balarāma, he is so much in anger and disappointment that nobody can even look at him. Lord Balarāma has a beautiful form. He is just like Lord Krishna and Lord Balarāma, they are non-different. Srila Prabhupada says again and again. If Lord Krishna's complexion is like the monsoon cloud, Lord Balarāma's is as white as the spring cloud, all white, like the snow white complexion. So, and when he walks with his blue garments on, he looks like Airavat. Airavat is, the elephant that came out from the churning of the ocean, and is the carrier of Indra, the king of the demigods. And here, Lord Balarāma in his anger, it is very difficult to see him because of his anger. He's appearing like, many suns, the effulgence has increased. And he is saying that this is outrageous. I'm trying to provide a simple solution, but these people are so arrogant. They don't realize the position of King Ugrasen, who can even order Indradev, the king of the demigods. He is ready to take his orders. So all the demigods are standing to take Ugrasen's order. Why? Because Lord Krishna is present in the assembly of King Ugrasen, just like a common kingsman. He is just acting like a resident of Dwarka. And they are saying that this insignia, the royal insignia, should not be used by the Yadus. And he is saying Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the cause of all causes, he is the supreme proprietor of all these material and spiritual universes. Bhoktaram Yagatapsam Sarvalok Maheshwaram. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is he not qualified to sit on this throne? Is he not qualified to use the charmer and the peacock fan? Is he not qualified to wear the kingly insignia, which is meant for mortal kings? Because these are all mortal kings. While Lord is immortal, he is the Supreme Personality transcendental to the three modes of material nature. So rebuking that way, Lord Balarāma, he decides that these Kauravas, or these Kurus, the descendant of Kuru, they must be punished. And so I'm going to annihilate. He's saying that he is going to annihilate the whole of Hastinapur. He is going to inundate it by pulling it in Yamuna. He will completely submerge, and so with his plow he starts striking the land around Hastinapur. So you can think of it, the internal, inconceivable potency of Lord Balarāma is visible in this case. As how he with his plow starts dragging whole of Hastinapur to drown it in Yamuna river. So he's pulling Hastinapur. And when the whole Hastinapur is being pulled like that, just like a sheet, it has been separated from earth. That part on the land where Hastinapur was situated on. And everyone is feeling this shaking of the grounds being pulled away. They come running, realizing that Lord Balarāma is going to destroy the whole Hastinapur, all the residents and everyone except Sāmba. So Lord Balarāma said that except for Sāmba, everyone will be destroyed. As he's pulling, they come running, bringing Lakshmana in the front and Sāmba in the front. They come running with their families, all the descendants of Kurus. They come and approach and they beg to Lord Balarāma to forgive their previous interaction, that arrogant talk. And they say, we now realize that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is what we wanted to see. So sometimes it is, one has understood the lesson. So at that time they say, oh, this is an amazing thing that we wanted to see. They were thinking that Lord Balarāma, he would just quickly go away, he won't complain much and we would show ourselves. But then they saw that Lord Balarāma is really upset with our arrogant attitude. And Lord Balarāma, as Adi Guru, is also setting an example that a spiritual master can very easily straighten up his devotee. The important thing is, to understand the potency of spiritual master, one has to understand that taking the shelter is the only way. Arrogance will not give us the solution. So mercy of Lord Krishna flows to spiritual master. And to achieve that mercy, one has to approach him in a submissive manner, which is Lord Krishna's message to Arjuna as well. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya ubdekshayanti taj jnanam jnanenas tattvadarshina. As per the process, one should approach a spiritual master pariprashnena sevaya. So inquire from him submissively and render service to the spiritual master. Then the spiritual master can reveal the truth to us, to the disciple, because they have seen the truth, they have realized the truth. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. So this is the attitude as how one approaches. So now they are approaching with the right mood. And Lord Balarāma is pacified after he sees that all the Kurus, and he blesses them with this mercy that do not be fear. You have nothing to fear. So this time, Duryodhan, he gives his daughter in charity to Sāmba. And along with her, he sends up, he gives a huge dowry, 1,200 elephants and many other aspects, like, he gives hundreds of thousands of soldiers, chariots and so forth. And nicely, they are departed after a lot of glorification. And now Lord Balarāma, he's taking Sāmba and his wife, Lakshmana, with him, and he goes to Dwarka. And at Dwarka, all the descendants of Yadus, all the residents of Dwarka, they are jubilant, they are feeling very glad and delighted that Lord Balarāma has successfully, peacefully taken care of all this matter. And Shukdev Goswami reveals that this is the reason why the southern part of Hastinapur, which is Delhi now, is very close to Yamuna because of being pulled by the flow of Lord Balarāma. So this is the inconceivable potency. Sometimes people in current times would think, how is it possible that somebody can flow? Because this is Lord Balarāma. He is inconceivable. And his inconceivable potency, he can do whatever he feels like. So that's another message. We have so many times discussed the story of cobbler and Brahman, where the cobbler was highly elevated because he truly believed, he truly realized as how Lord can do anything what he desires, while the Brahmana always considered Lord to be as understandable. So sometimes Maya Pradgyana, even the great scholars, their intelligence is stolen away by this material nature. So this is where this chapter ends, and really, if you pay attention, the important lesson is the glories of Adi Guru. Lord Balarāma appears as Lakshmana in Ramayana. He appears in Kali age along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nityananda Prabhu. And we discuss as how Nityananda Prabhu is so, benevolently disposed towards even the most fallen of all beings, Jagai and Madhai. And it was Jagai who realized that even though Madhai had thrown the pot and hurt Nityananda Prabhu and the blood was coming out from his forehead, even then Nityananda Prabhu was saying, don't worry, please chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Without even caring for any physical pain or hurt, he was constantly, asking everyone to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. Seeing this, Jagai, his heart melted and he immediately paid obeisances and stopped his brother Madhai to not further commit offenses. And it was this attitude of Jagai that helped the two brothers from being annihilated. Because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know, he invoked his Sudarshan Chakra and he was about to kill. And at that time, Nityananda Prabhu revealed to him that actually Jagai stopped Madhai. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became benevolently disposed towards Jagai and he was ready to give him love of Godhead. He placed his foot on Jagai's chest and he was going to annihilate Madhai. At that time Madhai knew, like, my brother is getting love of Godhead, I am getting Sudarshan. You can imagine what must be the state. So he, being, seeing his destination, he immediately surrenders. So either one surrenders willingly or one surrenders at the last moment of death. So Lord says, time I am devourer of all things. So Lord Krishna reveals in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna that he is time itself. So in time everything gets destroyed. So Lord Balarāma was also prayed similarly by all the Kurus. They were saying that, Lord, you are the source of all material universes, and you, just like you expand, from your body all these universes manifest, they also merge back in you. One of the metaphor used is just like a spider creates a spider web and after some time can again absorb all of the spider itself. So it uses it as its in consumption as well. So the same way, all the material universes, they come out in the form of Mahavishnu. When Lord lays down in Karna Dakshai ocean, Mahavishnu as Karna Dakshai Vishnu, and from his pores and his breathing, various material universes manifest, and then with his inhaling, all of them are annihilated. They are back in him. So one of the important lessons is one should not be arrogant, as Kunti reveals. Janmeshwarya shutashi bhiredmanamadaha neva hatya vidhatum vayatvam akinchana gocharam. So Kunti is saying that one who has high birth, Janma, Aishwarya, who is born in very opulent aristocratic families, Shuta, one who is very intelligent, is very knowledgeable, and Shibhi, one who is very beautiful. So these four qualities from material perspective are considered great boon. However, one may become arrogant and proud because of any of these qualities. And in that state, it is very difficult to approach Lord Krishna. Very difficult to even approach the spiritual master. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives us the perfect formula as how to approach. Disregarding any of these qualities, if we have any of them, even to a small extent, we should take to the lesson that we hear in Shikshashtaka. Tranadapi shunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahri. So thinking of ourselves lower than the grass, more tolerant than the tree, without expecting any respect from others and ready to give all respect to others, one should engage in the chanting of the holy name. And always remembering that all we are getting is getting by the mercy of the spiritual master and the devotees of Lord Shri Krishna. And simply this journey starts with the singing by raising your hand and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is where the chapter ends. Please join us for Nasimadev prayers. Gantra Srimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namaste
Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Narsingha Dev, 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 Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Bhakta Vinod Singh Singh Dev Bhagwan की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।